Thanks for joining me. This is Bananas for Bikes. Today we're going to be reviewing my new e-scooter. This is the Vsette 10 Plus. If you've seen any other videos on my channel, you know that this channel is largely around my e-bike, which has the Bafang BBS HD kit on it. I just got 10,000 miles on the odometer, so I know that this kit is reliable. I know that you don't have to service it. It's great for longevity. I can't say enough good things about it. However, I wanted something that was just a little bit faster. I was averaging around 25, 28 miles an hour on it. I could go up to 40 miles an hour on the flats, but I wanted something that I could hop on and cruise at like 35, 38, 40 miles an hour. So I'm just a little bit faster to keep up with traffic. I was getting a little lazy in terms of sometimes I didn't want to pedal. So can I just get on something and go and not have to worry about pedaling? Can I get something that maybe is a little bit easier to maneuver, more portable for transportation, and just gives me some more options? You know that I'm a huge proponent of anything that's electric powered, that doesn't involve me being in a car to get myself from point A to point B. So I've got a couple different options. I got the e-bike, I got the scooter. So let's talk about the Vsette 10 Plus. I have some notes here as well. This is my first time buying a scooter. This is my first time on a real scooter. I've done a couple of those rentals around San Francisco and Denver. This is my first time on one of these bad boys, and I can say this is not like a rental. This thing books it. It is fast. I wanted something that was a little bit faster than the e-bike. And I talked about some of those other benefits. Now, how come I went with the Vsette and not some of the other models? You'll know that the e-bike or the e-scooter market has grown tremendously in the last 7 years, and a lot of new tech and just better products have come out. So how come the Vsette? One, it's probably the most purchased. So I know that it's the most reputable. This specific model, minus the screen, has been around for a couple years already, so this is not a brand new product. It's been tried and tested by individuals in the marketplace. It has a huge amount of aftermarket support, and it's sold by a variety of different retailers, but I got this one from Rev Rides, which is in Washington, in Vancouver, Washington. So I'm only 2 hours away from their shop where I can get parts, products, services, a huge aftermarket support as well, replacement parts, OEM replacement parts. Any issues, I can just contact them. I don't have to worry about contacting a company in China like with Nanobot, that company. They're out of China. So you have any problems with those scooters? They make great, in terms of the specs. Their nanorobot scooters are highly spec'd, but you're getting fit and finish directly from China, and you're getting service that takes over a month to get replacement parts. So I do like the fit and finish on this. Like I said, it's very fast. The only couple complaints about it that I would say, maybe some people want to look at other products, is it doesn't have the most lighting. It does have brake lights, front lights, turn signals, but it doesn't have like them glowy, flashy things that like a Dualtron does. There's nothing that lights up on the stem. There's nothing that lights up on the deck or the sides of the deck. So you're not getting those cool like LED type patterns, unfortunately. And the deck is relatively short. So one of the major complaints about the this specific Vsette is that these mounting ports are where your feet should be placed. So typically they're placed on the side, but they can get damaged on the side. If you hit something or you bump up against something, you can damage these charging ports. So Vsette decided to put these ports on the top. Now for me, I'm 5'7", and I wear a size 9.5 to 10 shoe. So my foot is usually placed somewhere between like here, and here to here. So my foot doesn't touch these. These don't get in the way of my riding. But If you're a taller rider, bigger feet, wider stance, longer legs, these might get in your way. And other scooters have wider decks. There's only 18 inches from the end of this port to the end of here. Now, keep in mind, I'm riding 100% of the time with my foot up here. Okay, I don't ride with my other foot here. I ride, this is where you want to ride. It gives you the most stability, the most control, the most maneuverability, the most comfort. So I ride with my foot up here, and my other foot is usually like, might be here or up here, something like that. So these do not get in my way, but if you're someone that is taller, that has big feet, then these might be in your way. So try and test ride one of these if you can, to make sure that that's not a problem for you. I was contemplating running those wires up through this area and out here and putting the little dongles out this little port here, and maybe using some JB Weld or something to just flatten these out. But that only gives you like maybe an extra inch of deck space. So if these are in your way, you probably just want a bigger deck in general. So this might not be the scooter for you. You might want to get something that just has a longer deck. The other complaint that I have, other than the lights and that, is the controls just aren't very well laid out. So let's take a look. First and foremost, the turn signals are built into the grips here and here. That's really annoying because the wire comes up here and it splits into a circle, encompasses this bar, and has a button under here. So when I removed these grips on the original bar, this is not the original bar. This is a Bontrager mountain biking bar. This is the original bar. I do like the sweep back. This is the original bar. So when I went to move the grips off of this, that sensor just ripped right out of these handlebars. So I had to super glue it back into place and maneuver it. So I would prefer just to have some turn signals here, just like they do with these buttons, but just make them a turn signal. This DDM, that is the dual motor. That's, and this is Sport. Sport cranks it up to level 5 and increases the amount of output from the controllers to give you like 2 minutes of like the highest amount of output based on whether you have it in single mode or dual motor mode. It won't put it into dual motor mode if you have it in single mode. However, I'm using the dual motor more than Sport. So first off, I wouldn't put the Sport there. I'd put it over here. I would get rid of the Sport in general. This thing is plenty fast. I can get up to 50 miles an hour on this thing. I can get up to 40 in just like a blink of an eye, what it seems like. So there's no reason to even have Sport, in my opinion. If you need Sport, you need a faster scooter. And this scooter is plenty fast. As someone that's gone 40 to 50 miles an hour on my e-bike, this scooter is plenty fast. So if I was the manufacturer of Vsett, I would put the dual motor or the horn up here. So one or the other, so dual motor and horn up at the top, and here I would have your turn signal left and right and get rid of this horn. The other complaint that people have is just the horn in general. People call it the peep peep. It's great if you're on a trail or something and you got some pedestrians. You can even sit on it. But in terms of a car, this is not going to do it in terms of getting a car's attention. My other complaint, last but not least, this is just my last complaint here, is this here changes the mode down or up. But the problem is when you're like this and you're moving and grooving with this thing, it's hard to change modes. So let's take you over to my e-bike. I'll show you. So on the e-bike, here, mode down, mode up, mode down, mode up, throttle. So I got everything I need right there. But this, when I'm riding this and I'm moving and grooving, it's kind of hard. Sometimes I'm doing this, sometimes I'm doing this. Why are they so far apart? You know, extend this out and just extend this out to like another 3/4 of an inch or an inch, and just have your down, your up. Just put those buttons, boom, right there. Down, up, down, up, down, up. I also have no idea why this lights up. If y'all know why this lights up, the card gets scanned here. The NFC card gets scanned here. If you know why this lights up, let me know in the comments. So I would change the layout of some of these buttons, but is it a deal breaker? Abso-freaking-lutely not. The biggest thing that I would recommend is get on there and see if that deck is long enough. If that deck's long enough for you, this is a dope scooter. It's got the fit and finish. The brakes, apparently they're Vsette marketed Zoom brakes, or Vsette branded Zoom brakes. They work great. I have no problems with them. They work just as well as my Shimano SLX, my Shimano XT brakes. They work just fine. My only thing is, the nice thing about some of these Shimano brakes is you can change the reach on the lever, and I already have all the supplies to bleed and repair those brakes. So I'm going to have to get different brake pads for these things. I'm going to have to get a different kit. I don't know how to change the oil on this. I'm probably going to have to get a different cup. I'm hoping that it takes the same Shimano mineral oil. So that's my only, kind of gripe about the brakes, is like, how come we can't just, if I ever had to replace the brakes, I probably would just put Shimano SLX 2-piston or 4-piston brakes on here, and then whatever wire, it's a motor cutoff. I'm thinking if you can just disconnect the motor cutoff here, you don't need the motor cutoff with the brakes, because if you're hitting the brakes, you're not hitting the throttle. So I don't need the motor to shut off when I hit the brakes. The motor's already not being run. So, and I don't have that problem. I have the motor cutoffs on the Bafang are just capped off. I don't even use them. So I'm thinking that this won't throw an error code or won't let me start it up because they're not attached. So you can get Magyar brakes that are supposed to be really nice and have the component, but they're like $200-300. You can get a pair of Shimano SLX brakes for like $100 with the lines and everything pre-bled and all that. With the calipers and the pads. So if I ever upgrade the brakes, I'm going to take a look at putting on some Shimano brakes on here. But these brakes work out great. Suspension works out great. Oh, and the headlight. People don't like the headlight. But look, the thing is, for most of these bikes, you're going to replace the headlight anyway. I have a little e-bike light, or just a regular bike light. You can get some mountain bike lights. I looked at this one really cool light. Outbound Evo is a great light. Night Rider has a bunch of their enduro lights for they have the separate battery pack. So if you get that big scoot case that sits here, toss that battery pack in there and run an enduro light on here if you wanted. I didn't have any problem riding home in the dark with that front light, and I have 1,000 lumen Night Rider. I just had it on low. This is the Lumina 800. I had it on low, so it was probably 400 lumens, and it was fine. It was fine. We got street lights and stuff. It wasn't super dark. I did, take about 7 miles home, and but you're probably going to want to get a different light. What else? Now, why the Vsette? Why not the Nami Kalima, right? So the Nami Kalima has 1,000 watt motors. This has 1,400 watt motors. They have similar batteries. The Nami does have, the sine wave controllers are 40 amp, and these are 30 to 35 amp controllers. So the controllers are a little bit better with the Nami. This I purchased for $1,740 with the mid battery. So you can get it a 60 volt, 20 amp hour, 60 volt, 25 amp hour, 60 volt, 28 amp hour. And there's it's 25.6 or 20.8 amp hour. But in any case, it's a 20, a 25, and a 28 amp hour battery. The 20 amp hour on Rev Ride was $1,500. This one I got for $1,740 with a coupon, $50 off, and then for $2,100 you could get the 28 amp hour. Now I could have just bought the 28 amp hour, but is it worth $400 more for 4 more miles on the range? Probably not. So being my first scooter, not sure if it would work for me or if I would even use it, or if this was just a crap product, or how long this will even last me. I've got 10,000 miles on the Bafang, so I know that's a good investment. I don't know how long this will last. I have no idea if this will last me 7,000 miles. I mean, I could get that in like 3 years on this thing. I hope this thing lasts me longer than 3 years. So 7,000 miles is not that long on a scooter. So $1,700 for this, for what you get with this dope locking mechanism, fit and finish, aftermarket support, fast, 60 volt, 25 amp hour, you know, nice display, can't be beat. The Nami is going to be a little bit faster, 0 to 30, but this thing is no slouch. And the Nami does have tubeless, so if you want tubeless, you can go tubeless. I have a ton of bikes in this garage, as you can see. None of them are tubeless. I've never had problems with flats. I use the Mr. Tuffy tire liners. I use good tires that have built-in protection. So if you're getting flats, I wasn't reading too many people just recurrently getting flats. If they were, it might have been their weight. I know some people, if they were exceeding the weight capacity, but as far as I'm aware, if you're getting flats, like, don't go off-roading with this thing. Like, sure, people go off-roading with it, but if you're going to go off-roading with it, if you live in the desert or something like that, what do you expect? You're going to get some flats. So this has tubes. The Nami doesn't. But other than that, you know, it's a great scooter. You could also go with the Cabo Mantis King GT. That one's got dope lights, similar locking mechanism, tube tires, 1500 watt motors, but it's going to be a little bit slower to 30, and it's $2,100. So with the price, you really just can't be beat. Other than that, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and let's take this on a top speed run. I weigh 155 pounds butt naked, so about 165, 170 with my bag on and like fully loaded with all my gear. Suspension sits nicely, brakes work great, I get good mileage so far, acceleration is dope. Some of those people that are having problems online with range or with acceleration or with having to upgrade the suspension because it's too soft or it sits too low or they're bottoming out. Some of these guys are 225, 250, 275. So for me, you know, being 155, 160, the suspension's great. It sits down just a little bit, but not too much. I hit tons of potholes with it. It's fine. And bumpy roads works out really, really good. So no complaints about it there. So let's take it on a high-speed run. Also, real quick, get yourself a really nice full-face helmet. This is by Laser. I think it's like a UK company. A lot of the full face helmets are either like Troy Lee or Fox. I got this helmet. This retails for $200. I got this for $150. It is the most comfortable helmet. It has like straps that are similar to motorcycles, and I've ridden motorcycles and have motorcycle helmets, and this fits just like a motorcycle helmet, but still has like vents and wears. It wears like a motorcycle helmet, fits like a motorcycle helmet, but it is for downhill mountain biking. If you're looking for another helmet that's relatively affordable, the Troy Lee Stage is a dope helmet. I really like the fit and finish on it, and you can get them online for like $200 to $150 on sale. So they got a lot of sales going on right now, or discounted price. So the Troy Lee, that's a really good one. The Stage. This is the Laser. I think it's called Chase. I'll put a link in the description. This doesn't have MIPS or any of the other certifications on it, but it was tested by Virginia Tech's helmet. They have a huge helmet facility there, and it got 5-star rating. And this for chin protection was rated pretty high, so it still has some of those certifications, just not some of the main ones that you might see like MIPS or Snell or whatever other ones, DOT, that they use for motorcycle helmets. Great helmet, highly recommend it. $150, brand new, pretty dope. Keep yourself protected. Dual motor. We got 3, okay. just touched 50 an hour.